Back again with another video. So Lord Jamar finally addresses the flat earth situation on Vlad. I guess Vlad finally leaked out the video, the footage. Now keep in mind, as I mentioned on a previous video, he gotta somehow fake weight, redeem yourself, Lord Jamar. You gotta fake weight, redeem yourself. Now, did you redeem yourself? Or did he redeem himself? Let's break it down. If you unfamiliar with what's been going on with Lord Jamar, just real quick crash course. Lord Jamar is an old school hip hop head, and a while back he got chopped up because he's a flat earther. Well, he believes the earth is flat, and he got chopped up on that. And then as well as he has some choice words regarding Vlad and Vlad platform, and for a while he didn't want to go on Vlad platform, and he said anybody who do go on Vlad platform is basically aiding and abetting a culture vulture and all that. And then fast forward back on Vlad platform, and he's addressing all that on the platform now that he's back. He's been back for a while, and I think they may have did like 2 or 3 segments. And you know how Vlad like to ration out his segments, so ain't no telling how many they done actually did. But Vlad is leaking them out. And I made a video and I mentioned he needs to address this flat earth thing, knowing that it done got debunked and you've been disproven. I figured that he would try to save face and admit like, hey man, I was wrong and blah blah blah, and that would be on the road back to redemption. So here it go. Now too bad I can't actually play the video for you, you know, that's a copyright, so we ain't gonna do that. So I'm gonna sort of narrate it play by play just a little bit, not too much. But alright, to answer the question, if you ask me, nah, he didn't redeem himself, because he's still under the impression that the earth is flat. So all in all, you didn't redeem yourself on that. Now keep in mind, Lord Jamar is not an idiot like that. He does tend to have a good head on his shoulders, so he does say some interesting things when it comes to other various topics. But on this one, nah, bruh. And it's just a case of going down a rabbit hole and bringing everything back. You can't take everything back. But let me break it down. So anyway, the start of the interview I thought was pretty funny, because Vlad, he had to mention it about certain comments that people had left regarding Lord Jamar. And Vlad was like, you know, my favorite one was peace to the gods and the flat earths, which is pretty funny. That's one of my funny ones too, because it's just ironic, and it's kind of like an oxymoron, being that Lord Jamar come up out of the 5%er nation of the gods and the earth, circle 7. You would think that he would already know the earth is round. So anyway, and then it continues, and Vlad hit him with one more shot. Vlad say, well, you know how you say Eminem and people like me is basically guests in a house of hip hop? And Lord Jamar like, yeah. He's like, well, now people saying you just a guest in a house of science. You know, taking a shot at him, because Lord Jamar, you know, is pretty idiotic to still think the earth is flat. And then Lord Jamar proceeds to say, nah, he with science. It's just that is called, what do you call it, scientism, as far as the earth is round talk. And then he explains that how, I guess it's certain facts are truths out here that we just got to take their word for it. So especially regarding space, if they say, well, this is how heat reacts in space, or this is how this reacts in space, or there is no wind, or there's no gravity, since we ain't been up there ourselves, we got to take our word for it. And he called that, what he say, scientism. Alright, see, now this is the thing, because, and I'm gonna break it down. For one, he getting the proper explanation of science mixed up, and truth or whatever. Now let me explain, because we got certain things that's, I'm gonna put it, actual fact. It is what it is. Let's say, for instance, a certain person's height, they 6 feet, so they're not gonna grow no more. They 6 feet versus them weighing 200 pounds. Yeah, at that point they may weigh 200 pounds, but then they may end up losing weight or gaining weight. So when it comes to science, we got what is called a leading theory. So until proven otherwise, this here is the truth. Whether until the technology advance or some sharp person come along and prove it otherwise, hey, that's a fact. That's the leading theory. And there's variation of degrees in leading theories and facts as well, because a theory, again, can be interpreted as just somebody's opinion. This is my theory. No, that ain't what I mean when I say leading theory. This is the leading until proven otherwise. So, and keep in mind, I'm saying this, we not even playing into with mathematics and all that got a plan, and when it comes to measurements and other proven facts to prove that the earth is round. But let me continue, because what Lord Jamar failed to realize when he mentioned space and how we got to take their word for it. No, we don't, bruh. There's plenty of science projects that you can perform right here on Earth to tell you things about space, what happens out there. I mean, if you ever come to California, the Bay Area, man, you can go to the Exploratorium or the California Academy of Sciences, and there's plenty of information about not only what happens in this world, what's going on in other worlds, and it's beyond theory. Now, let's see, because men knew the earth was round for thousands of millennia. I mean, the easiest example is just stand on a mountain or a hill, and of course you're going to see the sun come over the horizon. And he mentioned the horizon, and he kind of wrote it off as some pseudo scientism, and he probably noticed or not, but let me just give y'all a little bit of game, and I ain't even gonna go too deep down the rabbit hole. But he said the horizon, and he actually got the definition of horizon twisted too, though. But I'm gonna give y'all a little history lesson, because the word horizon, the origin of that word is basically ancient Kemetic, which is ancient Egyptian or ancient African, and it's just simply Horus. Horizon, Horus, which is basically the sun. See what I'm saying? Because everything goes around the sun. And you got pictures, actual pictures of not only the earth but other planets, and you can see that it's circular. Actual pictures. You understand? Because even now we got telescopes that can see a lot further, so we actually can see over the horizon or past the horizon now. Certain telescopes. Lord Jamar, so you went down too deep down a rabbit hole and you brought back some bullshit and you running with it. This shit done been debunked for hella long now. You must just be running con, or you just want to just keep something going. Because you also mentioned that you used to think the earth was round, and you thought that flat earth shit was stupid, but you did some further research and you found out that it was a lie, that's the truth, the earth is flat. But nah, what did you research, man? See, you went back down to the rabbit hole and brought back some bullshit. Because if you did some diligent research, you would have came across the leading theory and you would have knew, oh, okay, nah, man, everything about all information, even not even what I'm reading, I'm performing projects myself, and oh yeah, man, it's definitely some curvature involved. It's definitely, you know what I'm saying? It ain't flat, it ain't like no circular disc like with, nah, it ain't none of that. It's just too much proof. From time zones to the seasons to all that. You know what I'm saying? I can go on and on. You know, and I ain't have to go to outer space to prove it, bro. So stop with the talk. Stop with the cap. You know what I mean? You know, I guess it's good entertainment. I guess it's a video, something for me to talk about, you know, for what it's worth. But hell no, if you somebody listening, don't fall for that garbage. Straight up. Now, of course, we know the powers that be don't tell the whole truth regarding a whole bunch of stuff. And there's probably a whole bunch of stuff that soon to be revealed. But when it come to that, man, that ain't one of them. That ain't it. Like, seriously, I mean, and don't take my word for it. Go do the projects yourself. Go research it yourself. But to me, it's just, you know, we go down this rabbit hole and we want to believe stuff, and we bring back a lot of that bullshit. So keep that in mind. That's pretty much what I take of it. But nah, he didn't really redeem himself when it come to that. Nah, not at all. But, you know, a lot of people don't want to know the truth. You know, a lot of people want to be stuck. So that could be the case in Lord Jamar if he's serious. He just reluctantly, even though he just don't want to know. He don't want to face it. So it's a lot of people like that. You know what I mean? So I don't take too much into it nowadays, you know, because it'll be those that be and those that won't be, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna make it or whatever. But for anybody out there, the answer to the question, nah, the earth ain't flat. And nah, in my opinion, I don't think Lord Jamar redeemed himself, especially not fully. I can't even necessarily say fake weight, because he's still on Vlad. Now, don't get me wrong, he got a okay, decent head on his shoulder, so some of his feedback gonna be good and interesting with Vlad hitting with certain questions on other things what's going on, like for instance the whole Cube and Aries Spears, you know, just different miscellaneous stuff. So you know, that's what it's worth. But see, it's on Vlad though, so I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. It has Lord Jamar redeemed himself? Can he redeem himself? Or y'all feel he never was in a bad spot with y'all in the first place? Or again, because this ain't nothing personal, I just basically that flat earth. That was my gripe with old boy, because it's idiotic, and why even push that? You know what I'm saying? Now I guess it'll be a good brain teaser to get somebody to start using their mind and go do some research to prove it otherwise. But don't get locked in. Don't get locked into the loop of that bullshit. You know what I mean? But that's all, man, I wanted to say about that, though, man. This Bad News Brown breaking it down, man. Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe button.